Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mikhail, and welcome to round number 2 of AFR season number 7 here at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. And boy, oh boy, do we have a very intense 33 laps that await us around this 4.6 kilometer track, 2.8 miles, 16 turns with a 75% chance of a safety car, 2 DRS zones down into the run, into turn 1 and turn 10. Looking back a couple of seasons ago now, season 5 between Zudix Bully and Ibis heading out into the first corner on the opening lap. Looks like lots of opportunities going into the first braking zone, but also a lot of opportunities to get things very wrong. Also in Season 5, Smitty, Jacob Meister, and Pondon. A couple of familiar names if you've already been tuning in with us tonight. And that nice move from the AlphaTauri there, using that DRS into turn number 1. Similarly though, down on the main straight, we have Simdogger and Artanis. Artanis showcasing the raw power of that drag reduction system into turn 1, getting pushed on the grass a little bit and getting squeezed out there by the Williams. And just trying to recover as best he can, being sure to avoid the Haas coming through and being sure to get back on track in front of the other Williams of Trin, who goes nicely around the outside of turn 3. Very daring to make a move at that very fast section of the track. Now, last season, Season 6, Psycho and Decelerate. Psycho will be hoping to amend a very unfortunate race that was cut very short last season off into the wall at turn 2 on the 4th lap of the race. That brought out the full safety car on that occasion. Some of the drivers will be hoping for that again tonight. Season 5 now, Bully in the AlphaTauri. Well, actually, no, it's the AlphaTauri that watches Bully get on that ripple strip at turn number 2, and very easy to spin the car there. Now, we're just trying to get things underway, and we're just waiting for the drivers to load into the session, and I'm joined once again by my one and only fellow co-commentator. It is Mr. Sebastian. Seb, how are you doing after what was a very intense Tier 1 race, and a Tier 3 race as well for that matter?
Well, my heart's kind of pumping, Mika, because it's getting me a bit excited for this Tier 2 race. Very good battle happening between yourself and Potsy, and Tier 3 itself wasn't too bad of a watch either, so I'm very keen at the moment.
Yeah, so all the drivers just loading into the session now. Full 20 drivers on the screen, and it looks like it's clear skies for qualifying as we just get things set up on our end. So 17 minutes and 40 seconds left in the session for all 20 of these drivers to set the fastest time possible to determine the starting grid of a 33 lap race around the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Now, Seb, we didn't have some standings graphics, unfortunately, so why don't you run us through the results of the opening round in Sakhir last week?
Well, of course, Mika. So, Paulo Pepsi, your race winner in Bahrain, also got the fastest lap. He leads the championship by 8 points, 26 points next to his name. Skins with a good comeback, finds himself in P2 in the championship with Quantum Effect in that Red Bull in P3. Bandit Nut in P4 and 5, putting in some good drives for what seems to be Team Admin, as we love to call them. We might also have Weather, as Band is reporting in the chat right now. Mika in P6, he had a recovery drive as well in those final 3 laps after getting spun at the start of that safety car restart. Psycho, a fellow AlphaTauri driver among yourself, P7, with Keeper, who originally finished P4, dropping down positions due to in-game penalties and penalties given by the AFR stewards. Decelerate and Bus finished off the top 10 from Bahrain with Bully, Nemo and Kalios. The 3 non-point scoring finishes from Bahrain: Anarchy, Andocat, Cambo, Combat Rat, King J, Mr. Spicer, Saxa, all retired during the race, with Wingman the only driver not to attend.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but out of the 20 here, I'm not seeing a single reserve driver. Would I be correct in saying that?
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. We do have a full grid, Keeper and Anarchy together in the Mercedes, Red Bull Racing's, Quantum Effect and Wingman. As I said before, Nut and Band and McLaren, Mika and Ando in the Aston, Alpine's got Nemo and Mr. Spicer. The Ferraris have Pepsi, like I said, our championship leader, and Bully. The AlphaTauris have Saxa and Psycho, Vast and Decelerate in the Alfa Romeos, the Haas, Kalios, King J, and the brothers of Combat Rat and Skins in the Williams seat.
Well, speaking of Williams, Skins is the first driver to start a flying lap. So, Seb, take us around a lap of the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya with the Williams driver, if you please.
Yes, I will. 16 corners, 9 to the right, 7 to the left. As you see, turn 1 and 2. He avoids that inside curve of turn 2. So you see sometimes people will not take it properly, getting that inside curve and spinning them out. Turns 3 and 4 now, very long corners. Our tyres will be screaming for help after going through them, putting a lot of load on those left side tyres. Braking just after that Rolex sign on the right, getting the car down to second gear, hugging that inside curve and being careful on throttle not to wind up those rear tyres. Turn 7 and 8, very easy to spin the car as well. Getting too eager on the throttle, takes it rather carefully though, and rightly so at the start of the qualifying. Turn 9, the death corner. You've experienced this yourself, Mikhail. You can easily spin on the exit as you get over that little dip. Now braking just at 100 meters, get it down to second, wind that car into the 10, one of the overtaking spots here. 11's very tough, got to be careful in the race, especially with high fuel loads and worn tyres, that you don't spin it on that inside curb or using a bit too much throttle and asking too much of those rear tyres. Final section now. 14, 15, tight corners. We saw a bit of action between yourself and Potsy. That decided the race. 16's just flat. Just hug that inside for the shortest run to the line. That's a lap of Spain. Let's see how this goes. Not a decent time, but that's all you need at the moment.
Yes, Skins with a 1:16.2 to start us off. A very, very nice lap indeed from the Williams driver. And a couple of other drivers coming across the line. Now, Anarchy on the softs. A 1:18.9. He might have backed out of that one. A little bit off the pace from what we're expecting. Mr. Spicer, he has been looking very strong all week, sir. He is now up into third place with 1:16.6. Psycho in the AlphaTauri up into second with a 1:16.4, as well as the two Haas cars. Very well, they're fourth and fifth on the timing tower, but 7/10 separate the two white Haas cars there, Seb.
Yeah, and looks like they'll have a bit of work cut out from judging from those soft runs. Wingman right now on the medium tyres. He's been setting purple sectors, especially in sector 2, rounding through the final corner. He's about to cross that DRS line. DRS wide open, and he goes into P3. 3/10 off of Skins, the provisional pole at the moment.
Yeah, so 1:16.598 for the Red Bull driver. And as mentioned, the only driver that was absent in Sakhir last week. He'll be hoping to really carry forward the momentum that his teammate Potsy was able to convert in Tier 1 race just gone by. His teammate Quantum Effect also on the medium compound tyres, Seb, going through the final corner now. DRS wide open, really flirting with that ripple strip. He goes a 10th, or what was that? Yeah, a 10th faster than his teammate, up into 4th. And right behind him, I believe that was Mr. Spicer improving up to 2nd. Well, there's only 200 separating Skins and Spicer at the front of this grid at the moment.
Yeah, it's looking very tight. Obviously, Mr. Spicer on a lap older mediums, doing that extra run, getting those tyres out. But you know, that's promising signs for a potentially good battle as time goes along. Especially looking at Pepsi and Ocat, they are yet to set times. They're yet to even leave the pits, so expect them to come out later on those medium tyres, looking for that medium qualifying run so that they can start on the medium tyres in our 33 lap race.
Keeper, the next driver across the line to set his first lap time of the session. Good enough for P6 at the moment is the Mercedes. A 1:16.503, and a lot of drivers in that mid-16s. You have all the way from Kalios down to Wingman. That is 3rd to 8th on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like we have a couple of Haas cars going again, maybe, or are they just on in-laps? It looks like they might just be on a couple of in-laps, but I see an Aston Martin going very quickly, Seb.
And he set purple first sector. It's also his purple second sector, so he's really committing to this soft hard strategy that we did see yourself pull off, Mick, out nearly to perfect effect. It's got these final 4 corners to navigate. This is a tricky one. You've got to time that turn in so perfectly because it really helps 14 and 15. If you don't take 13 correctly, it can really detriment your braking zone into that 14 and 15 chicane. Rounds the final corner, DRS open, and he's 2/10 off of Skins' time. Now Skins has switched over to the soft, so I'm thinking Skins might be going onto a soft hard as well, potentially, for the race, Mikhail.
Yes, it looks like Pepsi has just started a lap. Of course, Pepsi a full 26 points, 2 less than his race number that he's running this season. Nice red and magenta helmet as the Ferrari driver makes his way around turn 3 for his first proper attempt at a flying lap. He did leave the garage at the start of the session on a set of softs, just to get his eye in, it would seem. But he's really pushing it as much as he can on these medium tyres through the middle sector, Seb.
Yeah, it's interesting that we see who's come out at what time on what tyres. Obviously, you only get one medium set every qualifying session, 3 soft sets to tickle your fancy. But he's come out right now. 10 minutes to go in the session. He's going to set this medium time. It's looking good so far. He did have that purple first sector. It hasn't really set the timing boards alight in that second sector. Maybe he might be trying to save these tyres. As you know, these tyres can overheat a bit as you go through this lap. It's very taxing on the tyres.
He's caught a McLaren. Van
yeah.
Camp.
Yeah, that might not have helped too much. It might have thrown him off. That can certainly make you lose your focus. It doesn't matter though, because he's gone 5/10 faster than Skins. That's a good lap from Pepsi, and it's showing some strong championship form right there, Mikhail.
Yes, provisional pole by whole half a second. There is the Ferrari driver. We saw actually Mercedes off. It looks like it was Keeper. He's struggling. He had a little bit of a spin at turn 9 while we were watching the Ferrari. One of the McLarens coming around now. That would be nuts.
Ooh. Sorry, Mickey, I'm just watching Anakin. I think he just got held up by Decelerate in that final chicane, and we saw that a bit in real life.
There's a lot of traffic.
In round 2.
That's 15th for the Aston Martin. We'll go on board with Decelerate now as he has just started a lap. But yeah, not great signs for Ando once again. He had a fairly turbulent, if I'm allowed to use that word, turbulent first outing in Sakhir last week, and it looks like his Bahrain woes have followed him all the way up towards Europe.
I hope they don't continue. He has been lacking a bit of confidence throughout the week after his spin in Bahrain. That's to be expected. First big time race, but you can always build on it. It is a 24 race season. This is very long. This is the longest season I think we will ever see. It's the longest season we've ever seen in Formula 1. It'll be the longest season we've seen in AFR. Tyreek's run that edge, isn't he? Turn 9 is a knife edge corner, and we saw it with Feber lap 12 earlier on Tier 1 race. We saw it with dumping the stump lap 22 in Tier 3. And he spun around at turn 9, and like I said before, you've had a bit of an experience at turn 9 yourself.
Yes, it is my, I believe if I've counted correctly, it's my only DNF in AFR, well, my entire time here in AFR. Decelerate, able to improve by 3.5 tenths. That's only good enough to jump up 1 spot, because that goes up from 13th into 12th. Now it jumps Bandcamp, who's sitting there in the pit lane. But a lot of different tyre strategies through this qualifying session as Psycho goes up into 3rd. Very nice time from the AlphaTauri.
I'd like to point out Wingman's also done a 16.0 on the medium tyres. Pepsi in the pits has flicked over the softs. I wonder if he'll stay there or might give those softs a bit of a run at the end of the session. Very interesting, like we said, these tyre strategies will be really mucked up a bit. I saw in qualifying for Tier 1, the Jackson Artanis and Pond, his teammate, both in the Aston Martins. Pond qualified on the softs, qualified P11, and Jackson on those mediums qualified in P12. So see that field get jumbled up, and you can see a differing strategy just between that soft hard and medium hard.
Nemo just improves by 0.6 of a second, Seb. He goes all the way up into 2nd place, just shy, just over a 10th, or about a 10.5 away from Apollo Pepsi at the moment. So your front row is Pepsi and Nemo, the Ferrari and the Alpine, with Wingman and Psycho the 2nd row at the moment. There's still plenty of time left in the session though. There's a slow moving Red Bull. That would be Quantum. Just getting a nice out of the way of Skins, or Memphis Reigns. Who's pushing on a set of softs, Seb?
He's gone quite early for this soft run, but he does have plenty of time to come back in once he completes this lap. It does look very good. He's costing up rather nicely to 14, 15, now 16, flat, DRS open. Close your eyes.
Oh, it's
pole,
enough.
but only just.
Only just. It looked like a very clean final chicane, as well as the flat out turn 16, but it's only good enough for pole position by 0.02 of a second. And Pepsi, well, he's on an outlap, and the track has rubbered in significantly since he set that lap time. Nice and easy, just trying to make sure he keeps those tires nice and cool. As well as I do believe that is one of the Williams behind him. No, it's an Alpine. I've fallen for it again, Seb. It's Mr. Spicer behind him.
I can never tell the difference between them as well, so you're not the only one. I know Trent, his famous 35 race streak ended tonight, but he's someone that also falls for that little colour change that you so often see. Pepsi's car's hooked up really nicely through those first 3 corners. He could be on for a really good lap here, Mick. I think the first sector's going to be purple, and it is.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at Mr. Spicer, who's going on behind him. He's currently up at 10th. We'll switch over to Pepsi. Actually, there's a slow... I know that's a Williams now. I think that's Combat. No, that'd be Skins going quite slowly in the 3rd sector. But yes, we're right on board with Pepsi. He's up by just under a 10th. Knife's edge through turn 9, holding it in 6th gear, which seems to be how you take that corner. He's up 3/10 step going to the final sector.
Yeah, he's got to make this last sector count. Make sure he hasn't overused those soft tyres that tend to heat up a lot more than the mediums. Obviously, they're a softer compound. You expect the heat to go through them a lot more. Breaking through underneath that Fanatec sign. Getting that car hooked up. Doesn't look as clean as Skins, as fast, but might just be trying to keep it clean. It looks a good time though. It's a great time, Miguel.
1 minute 15.250 for the current championship leader. Of course, down from Tier 1 last season here into Tier 2. And he's showing, well, that he had quite a bit of talent behind, well, underneath that helmet. As we're approaching the dying stages of qualifying, 3.5 minutes left, Seb. It's going to be make or break for all 20 of these drivers, but one of note is this McLaren, who is yet to set a time, now going through the final few corners, Seb.
Yeah, not with a very solid race. Band don't show the best pace in the world, but what they do have is great car control, and they're able to just keep the car in a straight line and keep themselves out of damage and safe from any penalties. And that normally bides well when you have a late safety car like we saw in Bahrain.
Yes, not able to just squeeze ahead of his teammate. 15 milliseconds, I believe. No. Yes? Close
14.
enough. 14 milliseconds separate the two McLarens at the moment, so they are very evenly matched on pace. But there we go, 2 minutes 40. You can see quite a few outlaps, particularly down that lower midfield, the fringe points positions. Quite a few drivers have set their times on the mediums. There we go. You can see their best lap times currently on the timing tower. This is not what they have equipped, but this is the tire that they use to set the lap time that is on the tower on the left-hand side of your screens. As you see there, Wingman Kalios. Oh, Bully just teleporting straight in front.
I've just seen Anarchy go off at turn 9.
There we go. Anarchy is out of the session. I don't know if we'll be able to get a really nice off-board shot of him. Bully's car is teleporting all over the place as well. But yeah, Anarchy will have to settle for the back row of the grid. Whether that's 19th or 20th remains to be seen. And it all depends on well, I think Bully's actually AI or having some kind of issues. This is a real mess in the final sector, Seb.
Yeah, it doesn't look pretty, does it? Oh, Bully's got to sort out that internet, because otherwise that's going to be an issue for other competitors, especially with ghosting off, as you see him lag back some more. Then he managed to start his lap right behind Bully's AI car. I feel like this might impede him.
It's certainly not where you'd want to be starting your final lap. 1 minute 16 left in the session, so all the drivers basically have this one last attempt to get as high up on the grid as possible. Saxa is one of those drivers, currently sitting in 18th, but he is 5/10 up on his time going into the final sector.
Yeah, we see some more action on that mini-map with Bully jumping around. I think that might have cost Skins a lap there.
We'll wait and see how it goes. Saxa able to improve, but it's only enough for 16th place. A 1 minute 16.939 for the Alpha Tauri. Right behind him, looks like Bandcamp going up into 6th place on the soft compound tires. 5 milliseconds between himself and Wingman. Speaking of, Wingman has just started a lap going through turn 3, sir.
Yeah, I think he's just beaten that buzzer. Yellow flags in sector 3. That's a Alpine leading it through a Haas. And Combat Rat's pulled his lap in at the moment. They just start to tumble down.
Well, there we go,
Nemo.
8 seconds.
Yeah, Nemo's just come through into P2. Nice lap. Skins now. He can't improve. I believe he did get held up by Bully's AI car. Now we have Mika and Endocat coming through for their final runs of the session. Doesn't look like Mika's improved, but Endocat's got a chance here. Endocat jumps up into P5. That's a 1:15.8 between Vasa and Wingman. It's a good position, but I think he'd want better. Here comes Decelerate now. He's an extra across the line. He only jumps up into P9. 5 thousandths of a second faster than Psycho. I believe this is Kalios now. He jumps up to P5, pipping Endocat by 3 thousandths of a second. Now we have Psycho once again. Actually, no, that's not Psycho. That's Saxa. He can't improve that much. He gets into P15. There's Wingman. He's finished his time. He's up to P15. Sorry, 15.6 now.
Yeah, Wingman are now up into 3rd place, but Pepsi's still holding on to that provisional pole. Psycho into 4th! Oh my, Psycho, when 1:15.681 for the Alpha Tauri. Very, very nicely done. Pepsi, he knows he has pole safely in his hands. And he's going to head straight back into the pit lane. Or does he have pole safely in his hands? There's one more challenger that can realistically challenge for that front row spot. And that is Skins. What time is he able to do? It's good enough. He improves, but not enough. It's P2 for the Williams.
Just looked like those lap older tyres just weren't able to hang on for Skins. That might have cost him pole there.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is your grid for round number 2 of AFR Season 7 Tier 2. And it is the Ferrari of Apollo Pepsi on pole position.
Pepsi's starting to look like a championship favourite, Mick, early on, but...
Yeah. I mean, it's early stage, like you said, 24 rounds. But here we go. So Pepsi on pole, the 1:15.250. Beats out Skins or Memphis Reigns by just over a 10th of a second. Nemo and the Alpine will line up on that second row, and he's got Wingman for company in the Red Bull. Psycho with one of his best, I believe, one of his best qualifying performances to date. He will start 5th for Alpha Tauri alongside Vasa in the Alfa Romeo. Kalios, the fastest runner on the mediums. He has Ando also on the medium compound tires. 3 milliseconds separating those two in 7th and 8th respectively. Bandcab on the softs for McLaren 1:16.0, and Decelerate rounds out the top 10 ahead of Quantum, King J, Spicer, Mika, Saxa, Keeper, Combat Rat, Nuts, and I believe it was Bully and someone else for the back row. I couldn't get there in time.
Might have been Anarchy, I believe.
It would be Anarchy, yes, the Mercedes. Unfortunate to see him out at turn 9, but yeah, a corner that is very, very tricky to get right. We have a few clouds here for the start of Tier 2. Just got to wait for all of the drivers to finalize their tyre strategies. Any setup changes they want to make last minute, of course, that are allowed by the Parc Fermé regulations, and of course that dreaded fuel load, which is such a gamble, and it has race-ending consequences if you get it wrong, like we saw in Tier 1, Seb.
Yeah, I know that Potsy and Hero had a bit of issues with it. It nearly cost Potsy a race win. I don't think it cost Hero that podium because he did have a 3-second time penalty, which allowed Big Al through, but you know, it can really cost you. That's why you should always play the long game. Don't try and predict anything. We only had a VSC today, and there was a 60% chance of a safety car, according to our man Gus. So,
well, here's the thing with Spain in Tier 1, Seb. There has been a full safety car in three of the last 4 seasons. That's as long as I've been here. I mean, I caused one of them, but yeah, there's been a safety car. Safety cars are a very common occurrence here at Spain, and even more common at Monaco next week. But as all the drivers have now finalised their setups, finalised their tyre strategies, we have quite the split, quite the rainbow as well, actually, Seb, on this timing tower. Why don't you run us through again? Well, firstly, run us through this grid once more, but what is up with these tyres?
Yeah, well, Pepsi on pole, Skins and Nemo. Just behind him with Wingman rounding off that second row. They're on the soft tyres. Obviously, they qualified that. Psycho and Vasa also on the soft tyres. Kellis and Endocat. Watch out for them later in the race, especially if it doesn't end up raining. They're on the medium tyres. They'll pose some threats later on in their first stint and later on in their second stint. Bandcamp and Decelerate in the top 10 on those soft tyres. They have to start on them, but good times on the list. Quantum, King J, medium tyres. Mr. Spicer, the only driver opting for the hards, and the rest of the field, Mika, Saxa, Keeper, Combo Nut, Anarchy, and Bully, opting for the medium tyres. So, interesting tyre strategies. We're expecting probably rain by the end of the race, Mikhail, but we'll be definitely seeing one stops all around.
Well, if there is rain at the end of the session, I'll make my prediction correct that one of the sessions here tonight will have some kind of weather. But it all depends on when that rain hits and how adaptive all our drivers are. Here in Tier 2, you know, they historically have gotten a lot of rain in seasons gone by. But as Apollo Pepsi makes its way through turn 13 into turns 14 and 15, now the game will be taking over as soon as he hits the apex of turn 15. And we are just moments away from 33 laps of hopefully intense racing. If it's anything like Tiers 3 and 1 earlier this evening, we're in for quite the show, ladies and gentlemen. Seb, I'll let you have the honours once I finish my little spiel. But if you're just joining us, welcome. This is the third and final race tonight of AFR season number 7, round number 2 here at Spain. If you are enjoying, please do hit that follow button and help really appreciate it. And hit the bell so you know and are notified whenever AFR goes live. But Seb, the honours are all yours, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Waiting for Bully to line up on the grid. It's a long run down to turn 1. The heart will be beating, the chest will be thumping. There's 5 red lights are on. It's race time, Mikhail. And here we go. Pepsi's got a magnificent start. So is Wingman. He's jumped Nemo for P3. It looks like it's line astern so far. Nothing too drastic. 3 wides, we can see them as we have a Mercedes jumping around that looks like it's Keeper, but it looks pretty clean so far. Pepsi leads us by Skins, Wingman, Nemo, then Psycho. Carlios has jumped Vasa and Quantum Effect and Ando look like they're exchanging positions.
We have a yellow. Combat Rat has lost it at turn 2, but no safety car just yet. Just a local yellow at the moment. Pepsi getting away well. Meanwhile, Skins and Wingman having a nice start there. Quantum already up 4 places here. Is now up into 7th. Ando Cat and Bandcamp going side by side through turn 5. Now into turn 6. The Aston Martin trying to have a look, but it's not going to be quite enough. Bandcamp holds on to that position. Quantum's made up another position step. He's up 5 places halfway through the first lap.
Yeah, he's really turned on those medium tyres, really turned them on, and that's a good thing. That's what you need to do. That's the key. That's the key to a good start in Spain. Anarcat's all over the back of Bandcamp. Looking like he's going for a move, but not necessarily. Mika and King J are exchanging positions as well. They go side by side through 11. Mika's going to pull ahead through 12. King J might get his nose in for 13 though, but it doesn't look like it. Mika with their outside line able to carry speed through the corner. And that's the car around. That's Decelerate. He spun it. He's dropped it.
Decelerate has spun it around. Bully and Combat now approaching. He'll go all the way to the back of this grid. Pepsi 1.5 seconds out already at the start of this race. He is taking control of this race just like he did last time out in Sakia. Meanwhile, Skins and Wingman still second and third. Wingman, well, both Red Bulls off to a great start. Yellow flag at turn 1. That's the is that the other Alpha
That's
Romeo?
Quantum. And that's the other Alfa Romeo. I think Quantum and Decelerate have been involved in an accident.
Oh no, we were just praising him for the amazing start that he had. Of course, the timing tower getting all out of shape. Looks like Saxa into the pits to get a change of nose. But that is the last thing that Red Bull will want, especially after it was looking so promising for Quantum Effect off the start of things. But Ferrari will be absolutely ecstatic with how their star driver has gone. Pepsi 2 seconds now ahead of Skins, but Skins has to keep an eye behind him because he's got a very angry bull who sees red, who sees blood in the water, Seb. Wingman, he's going to be charging and making amends for missing the first round in Bahrain.
Making amends indeed. He is sticking well and truly close to Skins in that Williams car. It's so key that he sticks with him because being in a DRS train around here is so important. Not as important as Bahrain, but a DRS train anywhere is extremely important. Looking down the field, you can see the two teammates in the Aston Martins, 8 and 9.
Hello. Wingman has a little look. Not quite close enough. DRS will definitely put him within striking distance. We'll have a little look a little bit further down the grid. Now this is the battle for 9th place at the moment between Mika and King J. Nut and Mr. Spicer also very close to this little pack. They seem to have broken away from Mr. Spicer, who's down in 12th place at the moment. Psycho seems to be holding up this little group. But the two Aston Martins in a very solid position at the moment. Mika really able to get up. Oh, hello.
Oh, Skins has dropped it.
Oh no, Skins is around. He's facing the wrong way. It looks like he's at turn 7 and 8. Just took turn 8 the wrong way, and he's going to have to wait for all of these cars to go past him before he can even attempt to get back on the road. Very, very unfortunate for him. Williams not having the greatest run here in Tier 2 at the moment. That has promoted Wingman up into 2nd place, so the Red Bulls, they'll be quite happy with at least one of their cars.
Yeah, at least one, but what you're not happy about is the fact that Pepsi is 3 seconds ahead of the competition, the nearest competition. We just got that little battle for P2 brewing up. Kalios has got some real pace. Kalios has got some real pace, some straight line speed down the inside of Nemo. And
Oh, he's hit the ripple strip.
Charging Nemo's around.
Nemo pressed the accelerator on the ripple strip. I saw that coming from a mile away. It just wasn't great. But Psycho now back up into 4th place, and then Bandcamp right on his rear.
Yeah, Bandcamp right on his rear, and you can see Andrewcat's just sitting there. Aston Martin's have a good start. They're really fine positions. Bandcamp's up 6 spots as well, or at least 5 from memory. But he's all over the back of Psycho. He'll be looking to make a move soon. He could make a move into turn 10. Going Band's racecraft. He's a classy driver. He's got the wits about him to do it. But it doesn't look like the car's hooking up for him so far. Looks like Andocat's got a better on him though. Andocat will be patient and will wait for a better opportunity.
Seb, there are only 2 drivers that have maintained their grid's position. You want to know who those 2 drivers are?
Oh, one would be Pepsi and one would be Bully, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the 2 Ferraris in 1st and last. It's the entire grid if you want to think about it this way. In a massive Ferrari sandwich, the biggest winner so far has been Mika. They're in 7th place. Oh, but Andocat getting really out of shape there.
He's got to do whatever he can just to score points here. Find some momentum as Bandcamp.
No, sorry.
Bully spun around. Bandcamp's gone for a move around the outside of Psycho. But yeah, Bully, and that's a safety car.
Yes, Bully has lost
And Kalios has dropped it as well. He's dropped it on turn 2, like Nemo did. And he's going to be tumbling down the order as well.
Yeah, is it going to be a legal overtake? So it might as well be. Looks like Kalios trying to make those positions back. But yeah, Bully lost to the same place that Skins did. Now Kalios, he got saved by that safety car. No illegal overtakes, but lap 5 of 33, the safety car has now been deployed. Of course, a 75% chance for a safety car coming into this race. Took us 4 laps to get there. Now on the 5th lap, but what do you do? Surely the soft runners, do they pit? Does everyone pit?
I'd say this kind of helps the soft runners in the long term, but it's just whether that safety car, the rain that we've been talking about will come later on in the race. It's obviously cloudy here in Spain as Decelerate gets a drive through. And often you see that, but we are under Delta at the moment,
Pepsi
so
has stayed out. I'll say it again. Pepsi has stayed out. Wingman has stayed out. Kalios has also stayed out. No one yet blinking into the best. There we go. First driver into the pit lane is the McLaren of Bandcamp. Let's see who follows him. It is Psycho following him in. Both of those guys on the soft compound tires. We'll see where they come out. As well as Nemo, he's into the pits as well. Vassos, though, staying out on those soft compound tires. I think everyone else is on a harder compound.
yeah, it looks to be like that's what's going to happen. I'm thinking Psycho and Band are going to be doing a two-stop. That they might have got a bit of a call from Jeff. Maybe that was coming in around 20, 15 minutes or something like that. So that might be why they're calling it in. And these other drivers aren't. Oh, there's a bit of rain. They just saw a spot of there is rain.
Is there rain
This rain might have
already?
come earlier than they expected. Yeah, I'm seeing drops of rain, Mikhail.
Oh yes, it might not be coming through on the stream, but there are indeed a few spits of rain coming through turns 8 now into turn 9. Now this race has been completely flipped on its head, because all those guys who have pitted now have made the mistake. They've lost all grid position.
They've lost track position. They've just. This is why you wouldn't want to pit now and just play the long game. Don't try and predict something if that's what they've done, unless their strategy from the get-go was a two-stop, which wasn't the strategy to begin with, the ideal strategy. Then they've made some blunders before the race even started.
Oh, there we go. Looks like safety car will be out for one more lap, potentially 2 more laps, depending on how quickly Skins is able to catch up to the rest of the field. But there we go. So we have Pepsi, Wingman, Kalios, your top 3, with the 2 Aston Martins in a very strong position in 4th and 5th. Both drivers very, very capable. Both drivers very, very fast and have gained a decent amount of experience over their league racing careers. King J in the Haas in 6th, and Nut has somehow made his way back up into 7th place. Spicer in 8th, Vasa 9th, and Keeper is the final driver in the points. Now, Decelerate still has that drive-through penalty. We can't forget about that. So he's basically down and out for the count, unless there is another safety car.
Yeah, another safety car would very much help him out, as long as he is able to serve that drive-through penalty, get him back onto this grid of 19 cars now. Bully has called it a day. I don't think his internet was doing him any favours, so that's wise on his part, I believe. But this rain looks like it's getting heavier, Mick, out in the past lap, and
Certainly
wonder,
getting there.
yeah, I wonder if we could see any boxes in the next 5 or so laps. Considering if it gets heavier, we had a 1 drop every 3 seconds. We're getting about 10 drops every half a second at the moment, so
It's
certainly building up.
come down. Oh, safety car is in this lap. Okay, these next 2, 3, 4 laps are race critical. These could make or completely break your entire race. One of the Aston Martins off the track there. Kalios, 5 seconds with Andocat.
Yeah, and that might have just been a little anarchy as well with quantum effects. So some drivers not really being on their feet here, and they've been caught off guard by drivers backing up the pack, and they've now run into each other, and that's caused a bit of chaos. The safety car is now in Mikau, and Pepsi's got all right to leave and go ahead, and he has. By the looks of it, he's gone well and truly. Wingman has been kind of caught napping, and so has Andocat off the back of the top 3. We're underway now, Mikau.
Yes, there we go. So Pepsi leads on the way to start lap 8 of 33. Wingman, then Kalios with that 5-second time penalty. The rain has started to fall here in Barcelona, and it is really starting to have an effect. Speaking of effect, it's quantum effect, and Anarchy going side by side into turn 1. This is the battle for 12th place at the moment. The Mercedes going extremely deep into the first braking zone. Just, you have absolutely no idea how much grip there is, but Band up the inside of turn 3.
Put that to music. Psycho's getting in on the action as well. Down the inside of Anarchy into turn 4. I don't think he's got anything to fight with. Nemo's going to slide through as well on those fresh soft tyres. And even Nemo, he's going for a move down the inside of Psycho. That's a surprise move into turn 5, but you can see those get pulled off. Those soft tyres will be supreme over those mediums and hards, especially considering they'll get the heat into the tyres a lot easier.
Well, the softs, normally the complaints are that they're overheating, but in the conditions like these, overheating is what you need, because that means they're in the correct operating window. And Nemo is really starting to try and carve up this field as best he can. Meanwhile, Quantum and Combat Rat going at it side by side. Quantum getting ahead of the Williams into turn 11. And Anarchy dropping a position to Skin as well. But at the front of things, Pepsi has already pulled out of DRS range. Of course, DRS not quite enabled yet. Kalios has had a slip at the final corner. He has really fallen off the back of Ando. Mika now Now he sees the Haas rear wing in his sights. Up the inside goes the Aston Martin. They're still going at it side by side. This could get really hairy. Kalios has to use the curb. He's able to keep it facing the right way, as opposed to another driver that we saw. I believe that was Nemo a few laps ago. But Kalios able to hold on to that 4th place for the moment. King J 1.7 seconds behind behind Mika, trying to overtake his teammate. But a bit further down the grid, this Red Bull of Quantum still in the hunt on this Mercedes.
Yeah, he's got Keeper right in front of him. Keeper obviously with some good points last
no!
race. Oh no, that's Ando round!
It's not just Ando.
As well.
There's 2 cars.
Oh, it's right in the middle of the track.
Oh no, that is... Oh, we have a safety car.
To be expected with cars right in the middle of the track. That is to be expected. Now what's the call? Do you flick over to the intermediate tyres, Mick? Yeah, because this is really interesting. This weather is slowly getting stronger on us.
Yeah, it's a tough call. We'll see what the drivers have to make. It's giving me Japan flashbacks from before Pepsi. He's not quite sure. He stays out. Wingman, he follows the Ferrari. He's going to stay out as well. What about Mika? Does Mika go for the gamble? Yes, Mika's coming into the pit lane. I say again, Seb, Mika is coming into the pit lane. King J as well follows him through. Not stays out. Mr. Spicer stays out as well. But it looks like there's actually quite a few drivers staying out. Keeper and Quantum into the pits, Skins into the pits as well. That is the intermediate tyres for the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin have picked the intermediate tyres, as has Red Bull, has Mercedes as well. Haas with King J putting on the intermediate tyres. It's not going to quite be ready just yet, but by the time the safety car comes in, it will and truly could be there. Skins has gone for hards.
I wonder if the game's just done a duty there on him.
Skins and Williams have put on the hard compound tyres in this pit stop. That could be a race-defining mistake, or it could be the right choice for the time being. Kalios and Decelerate also coming into the pit lane to put on some fresh intermediate compound tyres. The rain is certainly, Seb, starting to get a lot heavier, and we are very, very close to the crossover point, in my opinion.
Yeah, just got to make sure that track is also starting to dampen up and get colder. It's the right time to take a risk, in my opinion. You're going to get those cars in front caught up on the safety car. However, if it's too early to take a risk, this rain it has gotten heavier in the past 3 laps, but it hasn't really gotten that much heavier in the past lap. See some raindrops in the cameras now once again, but it'll be interesting how it pans out in the next 5 to 10 laps.
It's close, but it's not quite there. What do the leaders do on the second time of asking? Pepsi stays out, Wingman stays out, Nut stays out, Spicer stays up as well. Vassar, though, on 9-lap old softs, he's going to go into the pit lane. Combat stays out, unsurprisingly. Bandcamp stays out as well, as does Nemo, as does Psycho, Anarchy. He looks like Vassar's the only one who's going to come in at the second time of asking.
Yeah, interesting call. I'm surprised Skins hasn't come back in, but he will be taking those hards to the end of the race, barring it stays dry enough for him to do that. And, seems like these drivers are adhering my call to play the long game, which is probably the right way to play it. Although if you want to be aggressive, like we saw Mika, Quantum, King J Keeper, Faster, Decelerate, and Kalios do, then it's also a valid time to do it.
Yeah, if you're down out of the points, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, so why not put on the intermediate tyres? But here we go. It's certainly starting to get heavier. We are very close to this crossover, Seb. Whether the dries
it looks
are
it as well.
faster.
The track, you can see the raindrops on the track. That's normally a good sign that it is just about heavy enough for those inters to just be about 2/10 off of those dry tyres, I'd say.
Now, do we see a Hungary and just all these guys come into the pit lane? So it looks like Combat and Mr. Spice are having a little bit of an exchange under the safety car. Get that readdressed, but the safety car has been called in, Seb, so the top 11 on dry tyres, plus Skins. I don't know why he's still on those hards. Maybe he knows something that we don't. Spicer and Combat still having a little bit of a tango going through turn 12. But here we go. So Pepsi will lead them away from Wingman, from Nut, Combat Rat, Spicer, Bandcamp, Nemo, Psycho, Anarchy, and Saxa, your top 10 with Ando, one of the last drivers on dry compound tires. This is going to be a very shaky restart, Seb. Here we go, Pepsi. He's lost it! The race leader, Pepsi, has lost it. He's spun around!
He has spun around, and that's the last thing you want to see from Pepsi. Mika's struggling as well to get power underneath those intermediate tyres. He's just come out right in the middle of the track. That's pretty dangerous from Pepsi. I'm sure he knew they were going to be coming that close, but nevertheless, Wingman takes the lead. Nut is in P2, Mika. That's right, Nut is in P2, and Pepsi has thrown the lead away.
What is going on here? Looks like Quantum going up the inside of Mika into the turn 3. Anarchy is out of this race too. He's had an off at the exit of turn 3. We can see him just a little bit there on the offboard. Keeper trying to look up the inside of Pepsi into turn number 4. I think it's into this time. There's no way it's not. Like it.
The hard tyres are absolutely dead. Nemo's soft tyres are just carving up Bandcamp and Mr. Spicer all the way up in P4. And look at those intermediate runners. They're just gaining time on these slick tyre runners.
We'll see how Pepsi goes against King J. Look, he's still got grip in those softs, Seb. He's still got temperature. He's still got grip in those soft compound tyres. Easily around the outside of turn 10 goes the Ferrari driver. So we're still on the crossover, it would seem. Anarchy now leaving the session. Unfortunate to see both him and Bully out of this race. Meanwhile, Spicer and Ban having a little bit of an exchange as well. Saxa right on their rear as well. All these guys, looks like Spicer's calling it.
Yeah, he's had enough. I don't think those hard tyres were doing him any justice in these conditions. If you want to be on those softs, or at least some more. Oh no! Pepsi's been taken out by Mika, who's dropped it on the exit curve of 16. And Pepsi's race is just about ruined at this stage.
Oh no. Pepsi was in a strong contention. Now he has no front wing, Seb, on that front. He has to do a whole lap. Probably on the wrong compounded tires. There is a lot of water now on this racetrack. It is most definitely, at least in my opinion, we haven't seen the DRS call yet because of the safety car, which is normally the telltale sign that it is ready for intermediates. But I think this is it. This has got to be it. Quantum slowly gaining on Saxa, and he's gaining so much out of the traction zone. 3/10 in just one traction zone, Seb.
Yeah, and Combat right up ahead, fighting Nut on those 12-lap-old medium tyres. Look at that time that Quantum is gaining on Saxa, though. So this is a lap. This is a lap to pit. So who was it that just pit then? Mr. Spicer, Psycho, Anacat, all called it at the right time.
Yeah, we're going to see how these top 6 are able to deal with the tricky conditions. Bandcamp, it seems to be the cork in the bottle. And it looks like Vasa, Skins, Keeper all having exchange through turns 11 and 12. We'll get back on with them in a second. Wingman now into the pit lane, as is Combat, as is Nut. The McLaren's going to have to double stack. The DRS has been enabled, but it is way too wet, and it looks like all these guys coming in. So Quantum.
Oh, VSC.
Ooh, VSC. Now that could be interesting, and it's going to really hurt those guys like Spicer and Psycho and Ando, who pitted that one lap before. But Quantum now into the lead of this race, followed by Mika, King J, Keeper up into 4th. Kalios recovers up to 5th. Wingman, where is he going to come out? Wingman comes out in 6th position.
That's a good result for him, considering he didn't pit under the safety car. Quantum Effect and Mika
We still
really
have
reaping the rewards.
Hards.
That is a weird call. I'm going to assume that that's the game playing with Saxa right there, and or it's maybe a visual glitch. I hope it is, but no, it doesn't look like it. That does not look like it at all. Oh no, that's a bad decision. I'm not sure it's on his part of the game, but yeah, it's not good.
Well, while we have a little bit of downtime. Oh, Skins. Drive through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. And then Saxa's out. Saxa just lost it at turn 4 in the tricky conditions, and he is out of this race.
Yeah,
that's
mercy. Hard tyres on a wet track. No temperature into them at all, and he's just
Spicer
dropped it.
Spicer and Psycho coming together at turn 7. not ideal there for the LP. He's going to have Skins right on his tail. Of course, Skins still needs to serve that drive-through that he just got. But at the front of things, Seb, things looking pretty well, especially for the Red Bulls. 1st and 6th at the moment. The 2 Alfa Romeo is doing quite nicely there in 7th and 8th as well.
And look at Keeper as well. He's found himself in a nice little P4 position. And we saw him had a great race due to safety cars last time around. Had a couple of penalties that saw him get demoted down the list to P8, but he's found himself in a great position here to score points. Kalios though, looking mighty fast on these intermediate tyres, sticking very close to Keeper with that dirty air. Might be on for something here, Mikkel. I could see a move potentially into turn 5 if he hooks up turn 4 nice enough, but doesn't look like he will, so he'll bide his time. Very hard to overtake in the wet, but with that big main straight in Spain, there's a slight chance that you can get it. But
he's got a run.
Yeah, it's a great run, but turn 7 and 8, Mickey, you don't normally see moves there.
No, you really don't. He's lost the rear out of turn 7 into 8 as well. It is not looking great for the Haas driver at the moment. All these drivers having to be very careful on those very slippery curves that are just waiting to take another victim. They've already we've already seen Saxa, Anarchy and Bully all out of this race. If you're just joining us, this is Tier 2 of AFR Season 7, round number 2 here at Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. And it is a intermediate affair. The rain has fallen down on the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. But it looks like Keeper, he's got the run on the other half of King J. But is it quite enough with the wings? There's no DRS. All these guys using ERS as well because it's a lot easier to manage. Keeper goes for it. Spooks him. Spooks King J offline round the outside of turn 2. There's a lot of grip on the Astro. What a move there from the Mercedes.
Mikkel, you know what I'm going to say. Put that to music. That's a smart move. Gets his nose down the inside. But here comes Kalios as well. King J's just going to let him by because he knows that Kalios has that speed on him.
Oh, like here we go. Rank Wingman as well.
Wingman as well. So King Jack's just dropping positions now. Keeper's really spooked him because that's torn apart his rhythm into the corners. 3 and 4 as well. But like I said, Keeper, smart move. He got his nose down there. He just spooked King J, as you said.
Yes, it is. As much as it is a skill game, just with the pedals and the steering wheel, it is a psychological game as well. And once you get out of rhythm, it can be quite difficult, especially in tricky conditions, to get it back. Kalios losing the rear there out of turn 10. You don't want to be doing that too many times.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. Mika as well, he's not looking too fast. I'm expecting him to get slowed up by these 3, Keeper, Kalios and Wingman, if he doesn't find any pace soon enough. Kalios has got a good run on Keeper here. He's got a great run. He's got 100% ERS to play with. I know that Keeper has ERS to play with as well, but the fact that he's sitting at 100 is a big thing. It means he's got a lot to play with down this main straight. Keeper goes to defend the inside. He's weaving a bit down the straight. He will solidify himself down that inside. Kalios looking around the outside. He's going to try and outbrake him. We could be seeing another magnificent move, but Keeper's pushing Kalios off the track, Mikkel.
Yes, and Wingman has the front row seats. We almost saw a recreation of quite a few incidents that have gone by seasons past. I believe Simdogger was involved in one of them at one stage. Wingman trying to find a way past Kalios. The 2 Haas cars doing very well indeed. Looks like King J falling off a little bit. Trying to find his rhythm, just staying within that 1 second gap as best as he can. But Kalios, 3.5 now, 4 attempts behind that Mercedes rear wing. Miko really struggling, trying to just keep his nose clean. Look at the run from the Haas. Keeper giving him a little bit of a squeeze, but Kalios finds the room up the inside. The Mercedes later on the brakes. Keeper has to leave Kalios the room. Kalios loses the rear once again in the traction zone of turn 10. Oh, Wingman has a sniff. Look at this. Keeper's going to lose 2 and 1.
He's lost it. He's going to go for a move down the inside of Wingman. Jeez,
don't do that.
I don't know what to call that, but that's a bit different. It's a bit strange as well. You don't normally see moves into 13, and they normally don't end up too well, do they, Mikkel?
No, it's a very unorthodox place to make a move, but one that isn't is turn 1, and Kalios Has he got enough straight line speed? No, not quite. Can he find the run on Mika, trying to get the better exit? Mika looks like he's doing all that he needs to stay in front, but Quantum is absolutely loving this set. He is 7.1 seconds ahead of the Aston Martin at the moment, and that gap is growing, and it is growing fast.
Yeah, it's growing fast. Mika's going wide though. This is giving Kalios a great run into turn 5. Around the outside they go. Wingman, front row seat.
Oh, safety car!
Kalios
Psycho's out!
And then safety car. So, is that on the? That is at turn 16. That's a final corner. So he's dropped that on the curb, you'd presume.
Yeah, or just too eager on the throttle, maybe with some overtake as well, because it's not quite flat out in these conditions, and I suspect that most of these drivers will be running a dry setup. So that is now both AlphaTauris out of this race, and that makes me very, very sad, honestly. And someone else is going to be very, very sad. So that's Vasa. He's just picked up a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, another person that's going to be not as sad, but a bit sad is Quantum Effect. All that hard work, building that 8-second gap, is all gone to waste because now he has Kalios all over him. Kalios looking like he's the fastest on the track at the moment, but yeah, he's going to have to try and build that gap up.
Now, do you pit again for a fresh set of intermediates, or can this set go to the end of the race? Looks like Quantum's staying out. What is the call going to be for the Aston Martin pit crew, as my game has just crashed?
And that's crashed for me as well.
Lovely.
That's great. We'll love to see that. But yeah, at this stage, I'm pretty sure those wet tires will last most of the race. So you might as well give them a crack and try and see how far you can get them to go.
We'll use this safety car period to try and get set up once again. Unfortunately, both Seb and I have fallen victim to the lovely Codemaster's curse.
One of the many that exist.
Yes, it unfortunately seems to be a common occurrence. It hasn't happened on stream yet, for me at least. But yeah, we're in a very, very interesting stage of the race. Quantum, it looks like he might have the pace over the rest of the guys, but I don't know if that's just going to be because they were battling so much behind him, or if that's just outright pace and the Red Bull's looking very, very strong once again.
Well, it seemed like, as I said before, Kalios had some form of pace. Just we can't tell if he is the fastest because he is so caught behind Mika and Wingman and King J, and you know he had to kind of brake early and couldn't get on the throttle as eagerly and take as much speed through the corners. So you know, he we'll see how his pace is when we get back into this session. But it's looking good so far for Quantum and Kalios at the moment.
Yes, it most definitely is. And I come back to Pepsi facing the wrong way at turn 10. So I have absolutely no idea what happened there. But all these drivers now on intermediates, of course. Looks like we did have a few pitters, those being Bandcamp, Spicer, and Skins. Quantum's out of the race! Quantum's dropped it on the pit entry. There's so much debris on the pit entry. Vassar lucky not to get a puncture there. But Quantum Effect, one of the favorites to win this race, is out. He's gone.
What has just happened? I wonder if this has got anything to do with... He had a puncture. Okay.
Now, how has he managed to get
I wonder he run over debris. That has to be... We are running simulation standard damage. According to the AFR rules, so that would have to be it. You'd think that's the reason why he had a puncture, and he's just not able to control the car. It makes it trickier when it's in the wet as well. Oh, that's so tough to see. Seeing he was having a great race up until then.
Yes, and he would have been leading the safety car restart, and if he had the pace and he was able to get those behind him to battle once more, be able to pull the gap out. But yeah, to finish first you must finish, and while Quantum has failed to do that, so now all of Red Bull's hopes, if Trin and Potsy are watching, all rest on Wingman. Although Wingman doing quite well, he's sitting in third place at the moment. The number 24 Red Bull. The sole Red Bull left on this screen. So both AlphaTauri is also out of this race, but safety car has been called in on at the end of lap 20 of 33. If you're just joining us, welcome to AFR Season 7, round number 2. This is Tier 2. My name is Mikhail. Joining me is my Season 4 rival, Mr. Sebastian. And, well, you're just in time to see a safety car restart. We will have, I believe, 13 laps left in this one once Mika crossed the line to start lap 21 of 33, Seb.
Yeah, and the safety car hasn't pulled in yet. It is now, so I'm suspecting Mika will go late. He actually looks like he might have gone right about now.
Oh,
no, he's still holding them up. He's holding them up. Now he's gone, and Kalios has read him like a book. He is right attached to that rear wing. He's pulled out alongside. Down there they go, side by side, into turn 1. Who's going to blink first? Looks like they're even so far, but Mika has gone a bit too deep and wide, and Kalios has swooped through the P1. And then look at King J swooping around the outside of Mika's round.
They've touched. King J and Ando have I think that actually might have been Mika. But yes, the Aston Martin and the Haas have touched. Is our Haas 1-2, just like we saw in Tier 3. Keeper up into 3rd place once more, not making a move on Decelerate for 4th place. The McLaren, well, he's making it work to an absolute treat. And Decelerate Combat and Pepsi making moves as well. Bit further down the grid to go. He's going side by side inside of 7. You don't see that one very often. Pepsi, though, keeping his nose and has to back out before turn 9. But he's pushing that Alpine through turn 9. And we have another safety car.
Oh, and Wingman was involved in that turn 2 incident as well, going to turn 3. He's dropped all the way down to P14, so Red Bull's hopes for some good combined constructors haul has really just fallen onto the hands of Potsy, who had that race win earlier in Tier 1. And King J gets a drive-through penalty spinning under the safety car, under the Delta. This is absolute chaos at the moment.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. So let me get this straight. Wingman has no wing. King J and Mika, I believe it was Mika.
Kalios pits.
Come in. Kalios into the pit lane. That?
It looks like there's debris on the track at the moment as well. I'm not sure if that's just for us. Yeah, on the main straight. This is Kunai, our main man, DJ Khaled driving the safety car. Another one, yes indeed. But
it's anyone's race, huh?
It's anyone's race. King J has a time penalty to his name. That's a drive. Actually, no, that's like time penalty. That's a drive-through. Sorry. Wonder if that's due to any contact with Keeper. No.
King J just speeding.
Speeding
Under this most recent safety car. So Keeper is
going to be in the provisional lead with Nut in P2 once again. Decelerates, found himself back into a provisional podium P3.
Now, I'm not condoning any gambling, Seb. But if I was a punter, I would have not said Keeper first, Nut second. I don't know about you. I would not have put money on that in a million years. But here we go. This is just what happens in racing.
Here we go. We've had some crazy wins. Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, recent memory. Could we see another one?
Man, if Keeper wins this race, that's going to be huge. Or even Nut.
I'd love. It'd be great to see Nut win a race.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, really great to see Nut.
Yeah, then you can rub it in Gus that Nut won a race before him.
Well, that's gonna hurt Gus's sore ears. I've heard that for a while. He cops it a bit from Band, Nut's teammate, all the way in 9th position. Cops it a bit from Bahrain Season 2 AFR, where he bottled it under the safety car restart at turn 1. Went a bit too deep, that allowed Band through, so that will always pain Gus's memory. I wonder if he's watching right now, because I don't think he'd be too happy with me reminding the whole of AFR at the moment.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come back to bite his fellow admin, because he's in a very, very nice position, and of course, basically all the admin, well, I think all of the admins aside from Psycho are all in one team. So, some good combined constructors points, but I'm sure Gus would prefer that it was him in that net P2 position. But anyway, lap 23 of 33 here in Tier 2, round number 2 of AFR Season 7. King J has a drive-through penalty, so it is Keeper effectively in the lead of this race, followed by Nut, Decelerate, Combat, and Nemo, the top 5. Pepsi, after his spin, recovered to a net P6, so not bad.
Well, he's kept it clean other than that restart, obviously, on those soft tyres in damp conditions. Endocat follows him. He's the only driver with a 3-second time penalty to his name, so he needs to find a way to gain some positions. Otherwise, he faces the dreaded potential of losing positions due to mistakes of exceeding the track limits. Bandcamp, seasoned veteran, P9, mentioned that before. Skins, Combat Rat's teammate. In P10, Kalios has got some work to do. He's on those fresh inters, pitted under this safety car from the lead. He's in P11. He will be having an eye on a potential podium, but he's only got 10 laps to do it with the safety car coming in this lap.
So there we go. As the mist clears on the camera, that number 97 Haas car, King J, will lead them away on the safety car restart, but he will need to serve that drive-through within 3 laps time. We only got to the final sector. We had 2/3 of a clean green flag racing lap before this second safety car was called out. And we'll see how things go. This time it is King J leading them away. We'll ride on board with Keeper, the Mercedes behind him. The safety car is now in the pit lane. Keeper has that overtake on. That is making me very, very worried. King J loses a little bit. And there we go. We're racing once again, Seb. And look at the run of the Mercedes.
Yeah, the Mercedes has got a magnificent run, but he's not able to pull it on King J at the moment. He should really be patient because King J does have that drive-through. Who cares about patience? He's just going to someone down the inside, pushes King J off, and this will now not through. Decelerate might even put King J under a bit of pressure through turn 3. King J washes out a bit. It all looks pretty clean so far. Other than that rub up between King J. Combat round with the run on Decelerate. He might go for a move, and he does. Turn 4. King J's gone deep, and Decelerate's they're going to go 3 wide. This is ridiculous.
And Combat wins out against all of them. So Keeper leads them away, followed by Nut, and now Combat Rat, who's made up a couple of positions on this safety car restart. Pepsi now up. Well, he was in 5th. Now he's in 4th, getting past that turn 6. And this Haas has fallen like a stone even before the drive-through penalty has been served, Seb.
Yeah, look at this. Pepsi is on a charge. Combat right up ahead. You can see him 5/10 up the road. And another safety car. I believe this will be our last one, wouldn't it, Mikael? Maximum of 4 safety cars per race.
This has got to be a bug. This has got to be a bug. There's no way. No one went off.
Well, there is still debris on the main straight, and I believe there is tyres and front wing. I saw it as we came on the restart, but this is just slightly annoying because we're holding out for some good racing here.
Well, I'm sure Combat won't be too displeased with that. He was able to get a couple positions, as has Pepsi. Now, we know the pace that Pepsi has on this grid in that Ferrari car. Showcased it in Bahrain. Showcased it in qualifying as well as the start of the race. He was really pulling away, but that was in the dry. Had a bit of a spin. Had a couple of spins, actually. Since, but he's able to, well, he's been able to get his way back up into 4th place, and I'm lost. I don't know anymore. This race is absolutely bonkers.
It's going up and down, side to side in circles and zigzagging all over the place. This is a different race for sure. I mean, if we thought Bahrain was a bit crazy, this is crazy in somehow a different way. So hopefully we get some free running, no more safety cars. Hopefully no more incidents with drivers, and there's some good, hard, clean racing in the wet in Spain.
It can be quite hard to overtake, at least historically. But Combat and Pepsi have just definitely proved me wrong. King J falling 4 places, not even within a lap of leading the safety car restart, and now it's going to be Keeper's turn to lead them away.
We'll see how Nut goes about this. I don't think Nut will be too aggressive because I think Nut understands that these are some extremely good points for Team Admin, aka McLaren, the Papaya car. His teammate banned in P10. They're just racking up points, aren't they? Just by keeping it clean, not getting into any hassle. And I think that's the mentality they will hold on to this race, next race, and the ones in the foreseeing future.
Yeah, this race, next race, and the 21 that I got to follow it. It's a very long season, Seb, and there's already we're already seeing some championship contenders throughout all the tiers. Called the two Haas's looking very, very fast in tier 3. Of course, you have Potsy now winning both of the races in tier 1. And well, here in tier 2, Pepsi showing he's got some very, very solid pace, but a tendency to make it difficult for himself, if we'll say that. He's giving others an opportunity. Let's see how well these drivers seize it.
That's a good way to put it. Expect the safety car to come in this lap. All drivers are within the same sector, all stacked up, relatively close. So expect when we get around to the start of turn 10 that those lights turn off and we get a call from race control that safety car will be in this lap.
Yes, so Keeper will lead them away for the, I believe this is the third safety car restart?
Fourth. I think it's the fourth. We had one at the start. I think one around 10, 11, one, 5, 4, 5 laps ago, and then one right now. So, you know, I'm pretty sure this is the last one we should get.
Yeah, so now correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe last time Keeper let a safety car restart, there's a little bit of drama that occurred. I think Mugello style from F1 2020. But there we go. Lights are out. That red Mercedes safety car has been called into the pit lane. Lap 26 of 33. And Keeper would lead them away from Nut and Combat Rat, your top 3. But I wouldn't rule out Pepsi. He's a very fast driver. If he's able to keep it pointing the right way for the remaining, what is that going to be? 6 laps? He'll be able to do it.
Pretty sure it's 7.
6, 7. Oh, there we go. Keeper's gone.
Keeper's gone.
Keeper's gone. Nut has had a little bit of a shake. Looks like Kinjay going straight into the pits to try and serve his drive through. But look at Combat and Pepsi. They are all over the back of this McLaren. Whoa, Combat very late on the brakes, pushes Nut off the track. Pepsi's going to try and find its way past as well. That's 2 in 1. There we go. Nut trying to find his way back around the inside. Decelerate, washing out wide in the Alfa Romeo behind him. Skins, though, having a look inside of turn 4 on Decelerate. This is the fight for 5th place at the moment, Seb. And he's found the grip on those intermediate tyres.
Yeah, he's found the grip. These drivers are being very brave with a lot of sense. Skins holding it around the outside. He's got that move for P5. He's onto Nut now, who's dropped off. Pepsi is really, really all over the back of Combat Rat and Keeper. Kalios has gained on Endocat. He's got that position there. But all this is really turning up now.
There we go. We have a yellow flag. It looks like it's Wingman Vassar getting into an issue. Is there going to be another safety car? No, we're allowed to go into the third and final sector of the lap. Not defending amazingly from Skins going into turn 10. Kalios, though, getting past Nemo on those fresher intermediate compound tyres. But Keeper has survived a lap. Well, almost survived a lap in the lead of this race, but he's got 2 very, very angry, very, very fast drivers approaching him. Yellow flag.
Yeah, Skins has gone for a move into turn 14. You don't normally see that. And Nut's giving him the space, but Skins just hit that curb and bounced off. Pepsi's on a roll, though. Pepsi's ever on a roll. He's using that ERS. Combat Rat is trying to defend the inside, but Pepsi's going to go for a set. He's looking at the brakes, and he's got the move. How about that, Mickey?
That is very, very late on the brakes. That'll make Daniel Ricciardo proud. That will lick the stamp and send it. And since it, he has Apollo Pepsi trying to take back that win that was basically stolen from him. But, well, so he stole it from himself with the couple of spins that he's had. Meanwhile, a bit further back, not really struggling to stay with the lead group as we see Kalios go clean around the outside of Decelerate into turn 5. Meanwhile, a little bit behind them, Band and Skins going at it. This is the battle for 9th place. Anocat just ahead of them in 8th place, trying to eye up Nemo as well. This massive train goes all the way down from Nemo towards, I think that is going to be Mika and Spicer. But Skins, He's using that ERS, can't quite find the move. Ben has a look, but much later on the brakes is the Williams car around the outside of turn 10. Can he find the grip on the AstroTurf? He finds some. Is it enough? No, not quite.
Yeah, push on the graph. It's hard to hold through 11, but he's trying to hold it through 12. He won't even go through down 13. He's being brave with these moves, especially in the wet, but Van pulls ahead. He's gone for another one. You have to back out though, but look at Pepsi. Mikhail, look at Pepsi.
Oh, here we go. Don't need DRS, just need the slipstream and maybe a lower wings on the setup, as it looks like Nemo's gone around at the final corner as well. But it looks like Keeper defending to the inside, becomes the outside for turn 2. Pepsi goes off the track. They've touched the two cars. Looks like Keeper is able to stay ahead. Combat trying to find a way past. This wobbling has brought him back within a tenth of these two. Pepsi trying to go around the outside now of turn 4. Switchback available, Seb?
Oh, it's on, but Pepsi might go for a lunge into turn 5. He's gone for it now. Keeper's been really banging wheels with Pepsi, and Pepsi looks like he's got the move done. Don't think Keeper has a traction. He doesn't. Pepsi takes the lead, Mikhail.
Well, there we go. Pepsi now up into first place and trying to streak away into the distance as he did at the start of the race. 4 tenths now the gap. Keeper trying to just eke out all the life that he has left in those intermediate tires. Combat right on his tail. Has a little bit of a weave to the inside, but nothing quite doing there yet. Meanwhile, his teammate Skins has a look on Bandcamp once more in a turn 10. This is the battle for 8th place.
Yeah, and Kalios is about to join this party for that podium position fight. He has really turned it on. He's up into P5 and he's all over the back of Nut. Expect him to go for a move into turn 1.
Of course, no DRS available to these drivers in these tricky conditions. But for the first wet race of AFR season, it looks like Skins now. Time penalty for the Williams. That is the last thing that he needed so close to the end. Looks like Nemo and King J having a little bit of an exchange in Sector 2, riding on board with the Haas car in 5th place at the moment. And he's trying to eye up his way past that husky chocolate papaya rear wing of Nuts in front of him. Using some overtake, trying to find the drive that he needs, but he can't quite find it just yet. Pepsi 1.4 seconds out in front already on the Mercedes, but Keeper doing an amazing job trying to hold Combat Rat at bay. But looks like with full batteries all around, actually Keeper, he's using a lot of it to try and stay ahead at the moment, Seb.
Yeah, it's the same with Kalios. He's used a lot of his battery, just trying to stay with Nut down that main straight. Maybe running a bit more wing than his fellow competitors.
Oh, here we go. Here's Combat. Has he got the run? No, not quite. Got very close through turn 9, Seb. Wasn't quite close enough, though. Kalios, very close to the back of Nut as well. But, we can't forget about these fights down the field as well. Mr. Spicer eyeing up Mika for that final points place. Of course, that will be 9th place after Skins' 3-second time penalty is applied at the end of this race. But only a handful of laps, well, only a few laps to go in this one, as Pepsi has now started lap 31 of 33. So no more safety cars for the rest of this race. And this could be it for the Haas driver. Kalios on Nut to the right-hand side, Seb.
Yeah, Kalios down the inside, nearly got squeezed by Nut. He's just going to go for a late braking maneuver. Nut's got nothing. Kalios with all the grip in the world. 8-lap fresher intermediate tyres. He'll try and get onto the back of Combat Rat and Keeper now.
Oh, now Mika and Spicer going at it. Spicer was able to get the move into turn 1. Wingman trying to find the grip as well through turn 3. Has a look to the inside, gets his nose in there. Later on the brakes is the Red Bull. Does Red Bull give you wings, Seb? I think it does. And Wingman now up into 11th place, but that's 10th after Skins' penalty is applied. And actually maybe even 9th after Ando's penalty.
Yeah, that indeed. Ando's not looking too great at the moment. He hasn't made use of any reserve of pace that he has available. Oh, Combat Rat, look at that run. That's brilliant. Keeper can't do nothing apart from go for a late braking maneuver. He's going to take a cute line into the corner. Try and cut off Combat Rat, and he has.
Defense.
They've made contact. Jeez. He's really getting his elbows out, Keeper. He really wants that podium, and now Kalios is well and truly in the mix now.
Yes, but I think that is still advantage play on. Keeper, a very, very aggressive defender. Of course, Pepsi now 4.1 seconds. He has well and truly taken control now once again of this race. But it's all eyes on who is going to be in this runner-up spot It looks like keeper trying to weave to break the toe a little bit, maybe weaving a little bit too much. Maybe Michael Massey might have to have a word with Toto Wolff after this race, but looks like he's still holding on to that position. 2.5 tenths, now closing to 2, now 1.5 as Combat. He's got the run. Does he go for the dive into turn 4? Keeper trying to take the middle of the track. Mr. Spicer picks up a 3-second time penalty, Seb.
Yeah, and that's just providing points to Miko, wingman. Right behind Skins and Mr. Spicer and Andocat. But this battle's really heating up for P2. Keeper is not giving a single inch. Like I said, elbows are well and truly out. Not even just the elbows, the hands and arms and even the legs, Mikhail.
He's boxing him out, Seb. He's boxing him out. And that's what you have to do at Spain, because without that DRS assistance, it can be very, very hard to overtake. You only have really 2 overtaking spots. And Keeper, he's doing everything in his power everything that he has left in those 21 lap old intermediates, Seb. Those tyres are not going to be looking pretty. And speaking of that, looks like Skins and Band going at it yet again into the final sector. Band trying to find the grip that he has around the outside of turn 12. Is it enough? They're still going at it, but it looks like Skins is able to get in front of the McLaren. And looks like Band just trying to set himself like Callios, 3 seconds. No!
He had such a good run through that final chicane. It just goes a little bit too wide on the exit of 15. And there goes his chance at a podium. It looks so good, but it's all gone now. Not now. He's going to take P4. Accelerate could even take P5 as well.
Well, here we go. Band and Skins going at it once again. They're going side by side. This is the final lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. It's all or nothing for these guys. Skins teleporting a little bit in front of the McLaren. Spicer trying to find his way through, but he can't just yet. He's really taking up that left side mirror on that McLaren. Looks like Skins goes a little bit deep, Band losing the rear end. And it looks like Spicer's lagged his way past.
DRS has been enabled as well. The rain has stopped. We haven't even noticed that, Mika. Band is round. Band has dropped it.
Oh,
That's
no!
uncharacteristic from him.
Band has lost it on the final lap of the race, and with the rain now stopped and DRS enabled, this could be the opportunity that Combat needs. He's using everything that he has left in the tank, but it isn't going to quite be enough. Callios as well, trying to make his way past, trying to just mitigate any kind of damage that he has. It will be Pepsi, providing that he's able to make it through the last few corners. He will take the win of this race. So Band once again struggling at turns 7 and 8. Will ride on board with the Ferrari as he comes across the line to take his 2nd win of the season. But it will be Keeper who will take the runners-up spot ahead of Combat right here in Spain, with Callios falling down, not up into 4th. Decelerate into 6th. Wingman actually goes up into 6th after everything, with Callios in 5th. Decelerate 8th. The 2 Aston Martins, Mika and Andocat, in 8th and 9th. And Mr. Spicer taking the final points place here at a very, very crazy Spanish Grand Prix, sir.
Yeah, very crazy indeed. Congratulations to Pepsi. What a great comeback drive. Good job by Keeper and Combat as well. But I wonder if Keeper might be in for a bit of trouble with those defensive moves into turn 1/turn 2. Didn't really give a lot of room there, so there could be a chance that if he gets a report, he could be in for a bit of strife. But nonetheless, great drive from him. Nut in P4 as well. Another solid drive from that McLaren driver. Callios in P5 tried in the end, but couldn't really get there. Maybe pitting under that safety car wasn't the way to go, Mikhail.
Yeah, it looks like it really wasn't. I'm surprised that Keeper was able to make those intermediates last. 23 laps in the end for the Mercedes driver. Really, really well done from him, securing some points for his team. I'm sure Big Mac will be very, very happy about that. But also, Andocat, 20 laps on those intermediates as well, so not quite as long as our runner-up this evening. But still a very, very nice effort there from the Aston Martin.
Yeah, that indeed, just to get those tyres to keep going. He's got some points now, so he'll be happy with that. Driver of the day Keeper, that's who I would give it to. Seeing how he was able to hold on to that P2 position. And nonetheless, elbows out and all, but, you know, got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, that is the nature of racing. Pepsi takes his 2nd win of the season. 2 from 2 now is the Ferrari driver, and we'll have to see if he's able to make it 3 in a row in the Principality next week, Seb. It's going to be crazy, I'm telling you. all three races are going to be an absolute nightmare for those on the pit wall and, well, for those on the track as well. But Pepsi, another 26 points to add to his total. He takes the fastest lap of the race as well, comfortably by a solid 10th and a bit from Kalios. 1 minute 18.540 for the Ferrari driver. Converts pole position. Keeper from a 16th. Look at these. Look at the second, third, and fourth steps. 16th, 17th, and 18th on this grid. Takes second, third, and fourth. An amazing performance from all three of those drivers there. Keeper, Combat Rat rounding off the podium. Not just unfortunately missing out in the end. Kalios in 5th place for Haas after his 3-second time penalty. Wingman in 6th for Red Bull. Decelerate for Alfa Romeo. He goes up from 10th to 7th. With Mika in 8th and Ocat in 9th for 2 Aston Martins. And Mr. Spicer rounds out the 10 ahead of Vassar, Skins, Bandcamp, King J, and Nemo. With Quantum, Psycho, Saxa, Anarchy, and Bully unable to finish this one. But Seb, just any closing remarks before we end things off here tonight?
It was a nice race. Bit chaotic, different type of chaotic to Bahrain, but nonetheless a lot of safety cars, and expect to see that next week in Monaco. Very interesting race we're going to have next week, and it will be a lot more chaotic than this, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, it is going to be a race of survival, regardless of what tier you're going to be in, especially with how unforgiving punctures can be. We saw that here tonight with Quantum Effect, just getting that puncture, and that, well, went from what could have been a fairly comfortable win, a very, very good position nonetheless, and completely derail it, and just absolutely insane scene. So you won't want to miss the 3 races around Monaco. But before that, of course, we have a Friday series as well coming up at 8:30 Australian Eastern. And I do believe, Seb, I'm just going to have a quick look, that will be around Albert Park. So it'll be Albert Park for the Friday series. That'll be commentated by Jacob Meister and maybe myself as well if there's only 20 drivers instead of 21. And then, of course, Tier 3, Tier 1, Tier 2 in that order next week on Sunday for Monaco. I am very scared for that round, Sip. Monaco's never been this early in the season.
No, you don't like the track as well. It's a tough one, but it's where you find the most brave drivers, get as close to the walls as possible, pushing limits. It should be a good one, though.
Yeah, Monaco definitely separates the men from the boys, especially if there is a little bit of weather that could play a part as well. But that's going to be all from us today. My name has been Mikhail. Joining me has been Seb. Thank you for watching along this Tier 2 broadcast. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we will see you on Friday with the Friday series in the F2 cars around Albert Park. That it's 8:30 Australian Eastern. Please do hit that follow button and tick that notification bell as well so you get notified every time that AFR goes live. But that is all, and we will be back on Friday. See you guys all then.